Alright, so we got a great vegetarian recipe coming up today. This is great if you are a vegetarian, or if you have any guests coming over that are vegetarians and you don't know what to cook, give this one a try. So start by heating some butter in a pan on a medium heat, and then you can go ahead and peel your mushrooms. I'm using flat mushrooms here as they're about the right size for a portion. You could use portabello mushrooms, but they do tend to be quite large. Anyway, once peeled, add them into your pan and then season with some salt and pepper. Next up, peel and dice half an onion. You want to try and get this as small as you possibly can. So to do this, make some vertical cuts like this, nearly all the way to the back of the onion. And then we'll do a horizontal cut nearly to the back of the onion as well. And then turn it 90 degrees and just cut into a fine dice. As always, I'll put the recipes and the equipment in the description below for you. Next up, we'll peel and finely chop a clove of garlic. So cut this one way, turn it 90 degrees, and then cut it the other way as small as you can. And to get this really fine, we'll use the side of our knife and just press and spread it into our chopping board, and then chop over once more. Next up, we'll take the core out of a portabello mushroom and then peel that also. Next up, we'll take a teaspoon and scrape all the black gills out, as they can be a little bit bitter. And once that's done, you can finally chop this too. You don't need to worry about getting this one too small, as it will shrink considerably when you cook it. And now take a few sprigs of fresh thyme and you can chop all that up, including the stalks, as long as they're green, not brown and woody. By now you should have some colour on your mushrooms, so you can remove them from the pan. And now to the same pan we can add in all of our onions and our mushrooms, and you're going to give these a good stir every few minutes, because we don't want any colour on these. We're really just looking to evaporate a lot of the moisture out of them. So whilst they cook down, we can start on our stuffing. So to your bowl, add your cheddar, breadcrumbs, a pinch of salt and pepper, and your chopped thyme. And lastly, some camembert cheese, which we'll cut up into fairly large chunks, and you can add them to the rest of your stuffing mix. Okay, this is pretty much there now, so we can now add our garlic, and we'll just need to continue to cook this for another couple of minutes. So whilst that finishes, we'll remove the stalks of our mushrooms. You could do this beforehand, but it's a lot easier to take them out once the mushrooms have cooked a little. You've got no chance of breaking them. This is all done now, and as you can see, the pan is completely dry and all the vegetables are softened, so now we need to get this cooled down. And once cold, you can add it into your stuffing mixture. Just make sure it is cold or you'll melt all that camembert. And then you want to add one whole egg and some chopped parsley, and give it a good mix until it holds itself together like this. Now we can stuff these mushrooms. So to do this, you're going to put a couple of tablespoons of mixture into the centre of the mushroom, and then you're just going to spread it towards the outside until you get this nice smooth dome like this. Once your mushrooms are stuffed, put them in the fridge until needed. Next up, we'll take some pre-made puff pastry, and we're going to cut out some rounds that are just slightly bigger than the mushrooms themselves, and then remove all the excess pastry. And seeing as I've got 2 stuffed mushrooms, I'll put 2 discs down on a baking sheet lined with baking paper. Go and get your mushrooms out of the fridge and put one on each disc of puff pastry. And now lightly flour our surface, and we're going to roll out one of these discs just slightly larger than it is now, so it will fit over the mushroom, and we can crimp it to the other piece of pastry underneath. And then you want to take one egg and beat it well, and then we'll take a pastry brush and brush around the outside edge of the bottom piece of pastry. Place the other piece on top and just gently press down to seal. When doing this, make sure you have gone all the way around, otherwise when cooking these 2 bits of pastry will separate. Now on this one we'll do a fairly simple crimp, so put 2 fingers down with a small space in between, and then you're going to press your other finger in between the gap you've left to make this pattern. Now take your egg wash and lightly brush all over, making sure you don't miss any spots. Now we're going to do the same for this next one, so roll out a piece a little bit bigger than it was originally, and then egg wash around the outside. Place the piece on top and then press down fairly firmly. And we're going to do a different finish on this one that makes it look much more professional. So for this one, make sure you egg wash your mushroom Wellington first, take a disc of puff pastry and then roll over it with a lattice cutter. I'll put a link in the description to where you can buy one of these. Anyway, so be careful when rolling over these, they have a tendency to pick up the pastry, so just use a knife and carefully release it from the cutter and just roll straight over it whilst holding the pastry firmly. Now just gently pull out the pastry to open up the lattice, and carefully pick it up and lay it straight over your mushroom Wellington. Now make sure the Wellington is fully covered with your lattice, and then you're just going to gently press around the base to make sure it is all sealed, and then cut the excess off with a pastry cutter, and then you'll want to egg wash the whole thing once again. And now to finish it, I'm just going to sprinkle over a little bit of chopped parsley, some flaky sea salt, and some cracked black pepper. And back to the first one, I'm going to use the back of my knife to just run it over and create this pattern on top. And then into the oven at 180 degrees centigrade or about 360 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes or until golden brown. And that's it, they're finished. So these are great for serving at Christmas or Thanksgiving, and if you want to get ahead of the game, you can make them and then freeze them and just defrost them for 24 hours before cooking on the day. If you like this kind of thing or learn anything, make sure you leave me a like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.